What does self-care look like for you?
I'm your host, Tiffany Souter, and this is Scared Confident. When it comes to self-care, I start with things super small and simple because when it is hard at the beginning, I just break down and forget to use it. So here's an example. I have this thing in my head, I'm sure it's true, but I believe it. It might not be true, that if I take care of my skin, I will look younger longer. So I'm going to take my makeup off every night, which I do 365 days a year. And I'm going to use my skincare system just the way that they prescribed. I'm not going to try to get cute with it. I don't know enough about it to research it. It's not my personality. And so I just use the thing that they tell me to. So my girlfriend sells Beauty Counter and I said, what should I use? And she said, use these 4 things. I'm like, 4 is too many. What are the 3 most important? And so I used the 3 most important. And that's all I did for like 6 months because it's what it took for me for it just to be like a blind habit. And then I told her, I'm ready to add something else. She's like, okay, add this vitamin C just in the morning between steps 2 and 3. I'm like, okay, great. I can do that. And I did that for like 4 more months until it was just a blind habit. And it's just all I do. I don't rethink it. I don't shop for skincare again. I just do the thing and I don't try to make it hard because it's solved for me now. I'm not in this constant state of solving. And I find when people can't figure out self-care, it's because they don't commit to something and they're constantly in solving mode instead of saying, this is fixed. This works for me. This is just what I'm going to do, which means I don't go to skincare parties and that kind of stuff because I'm not into resolving that. I already have a solution for that. And that works really well for me. Another thing on self-care that is maybe an adjacent topic, wearing clothes that fit you. My grandma used to always say, dress to forget yourself. And we all know when we're like so glammed up that the only thing you're thinking about when you walk into a room is yourself. And there's also times when you're like too frumpy or you're underdressed or you're like, I wish I would have showered today. And you're thinking about yourself all the time because you just don't feel good. And this idea of like finding that spot on the line where you're dressed to forget yourself, meaning you feel good, you feel confident in who you are, but you're not thinking about yourself all day long. Like that's the goal. You don't need to have 100 things. I have found like 6 tops and 2 pairs of pants and I can like go for a quarter. Like you don't need that much stuff, but buy things that fit your body for the way it looks right now and get dressed. Like I wear yoga pants until the afternoon very rarely. I like to get up and like dress for the day, like something's going to happen. And I'm not often caught with like, oh, my hair doesn't look good. I don't want to go there. I hope I don't run into somebody. Like dress for a moment to happen. I think that's a way that I give myself self-care is also getting dressed, taking a shower, feeling good, feeling like put together for the day so that you can go wherever the day takes you. Some of the things I was just talking about are more like day-to-day self-care, but big picture self-care, I would say I've had to really learn to pay attention to when my heart is telling me that I need to take like a time out and just like decompress and breathe. That self-care for me usually looks like a change of environment, like getting on an airplane, leaving home, kind of getting away from responsibility. My husband and I went away for our anniversary and I was walking through the middle of the city that we were at without my phone, without a wallet, like literally nothing. And I was like, I don't even have to be responsible for myself right now. It was such a big, deep breath for me. And so I know sometimes I get a little responsibility fatigue because I'm answering a lot of questions from a lot of people. And sometimes I just need to go to a place where I'm not responsibility for anybody or anything, not even really myself. And JR is such a great release for me in that way. I can just like, he knows what road to go down, like what time reservations are. And I need sometimes to just totally decompress that way. The other thing I've learned is there's something very releasing to me about not having to know what time it is. In the morning, I've got to know what time it is, like when the girls need to be on the bus, like who needs to be at school, what time do you need to be sure that you're packing your, getting your backpack on. What time does my first call start? When does that one over? When is my next one? What time does lunch? I've got 30 minutes here. And I'm constantly aware of time and being able to be, again, it doesn't have to be a long time where I can just disconnect from a half hour, like from the needing to know what time it is also a huge mental relief for me. And I feel my body be able to get to a different level of relaxation when I can experience that kind of resting. Physical exertion also, even though while it makes your body tired, my body being able to be tired and my mind renewing is a big piece of it. And I also just love new experiences, new cities, new trails, new restaurants, new food. That makes me, from a sensory perspective, feel alive. And oftentimes when I feel tired, it's because my creative energy is depleted and I'm kind of getting in this just like hamster wheel mode. And I need something to interrupt that cycle. And so getting into something new can help, I don't know, my brain just connect in new ways and me feel refreshed in a different way. So I think for Jared and I both, we aren't necessarily, go sit on a beach for a week and like rejuvenate that way. It's usually using our minds, using our bodies, getting a new experience that helps us feel really refreshed. So a little bit on self-care. I think you got to pay attention to your heart. I think sometimes we get tired, like physically tired, and that might mean that we didn't need to disconnect, but it might also just mean something in your system is broken. You're not getting enough sleep. You're allowing social media to distract you for too long. I don't know what the thing is, but there's something that's not sustainable in the way that you've put together your days. And so that might need to be fixed. And that's why you're feeling exhaustion. But I do think sometimes you just need to go reset a little bit and you can come back with new perspective, new energy, new everything for the people and things around you. Sometimes that's definitely necessary. So what else is on your mind? Text me, 317-350-8921, 317-350-8921. And be sure to follow along on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for listening today.